Alright guys, today we're going to do section 8.6. It's on solving rational equations. And our objectives is to be able to solve rational equations and then also use rational equations to solve problems sort of in context, so some word problems. Alright, so here's a couple rational equations, and to try to solve them, the easiest thing to do is just multiply by our common denominators. And it might be one thing or it might be multiple things. We can see on the top we just multiply by one thing and it's going to clear up these fractions. On the bottom you see we're going to multiply by a different couple things for that type of problem. So here, when we're multiplying by the common denominator, which is x plus 2, and when this distributes to both, let me rewrite it here. We can see that it cancels here and here, and here and here, because they're married, so we can cancel them all. And that leaves us with x minus 1 equals x squared plus 2x minus 3. And then we need to just solve this equation now. So I'm going to move everything. We've got a quadratic. Let's move everything over. So we'll have 0 equals x squared plus x minus 2. And that would be x plus 2, x minus 1. So I've got solutions of negative 2 and positive 1. Now every time we're doing these we have to go back and double check for extraneous solutions. So when I take these numbers and I substitute back here and we look and we see, oh, negative 2 plus 2, that puts 0 on the bottom. That's undefined, so that's an excluded value. When I plug in the 1, everything will work out alright. So my solution for here is 1. Alright, looking at the next type then, this little bit more, we can see the common denominators is going to be x plus 1 and x plus 4. When I distribute this with the first one, instead of rewriting everything out, let's just sort of look what will cancel. This x plus 1 would cancel with that one, and so that leaves x plus 4 times x for the first one. And then we have plus. Now the x plus 4s would cancel with the x plus 4, so we leave the x plus 1 times the 3. And here the x plus 4's cancel again, so we're left with the x plus 3 with the x plus 1. So that's just distributing these to every single thing and reducing, because remember these are really over 1. Alright, so cleaning up what we have now to try to solve this equation, that gives me what? X squared plus 4x plus 3x plus 3 equals x squared plus 3x plus x plus 3. Cleaning up, that leaves x squared plus 7x plus 3 equals x squared plus 4x plus 3. Cleaning these up, moving things to both sides, subtract an x squared, cancel, subtract a 4x, that leaves 3x plus 3 equals 3, subtract a 3, 3x is 0, divide by 3, x is 0. Double check it just to be sure it doesn't mess anything up. 0 divided by, let's write it out here, 0 divided by 1 plus 3 divided by 4 equals 3 divided by 4. That's nothing plus 3/4 equals 3/4, and that's true. Okay, so anytime you need a rational equation solved, simply multiply by common denominators and then clean up. Okay, so looking at this, solution of the rational equation. What is our denominator here? It's a 1. And so now our common denominator is going to be 1 minus 2x. When I multiply it on the left side, it just gives me the x plus 2. On the right side, when I distribute, I'll have 5 minus 10x. Alright, cleaning this up, let's move the 10x over. That would be 11x plus 2 equals 5. Subtract 2. 11x is 3. X is 3 over 11. Double check it just to be sure it don't make an extraneous solution. We can see 1 minus 2 times 3 over 11 won't make 0. That's going to work out. Alright, now a word type problem. This one says two fountains have two drainage valves. The first valve open, the fountain drains completely in 4 hours. So fountain 1 can do the job in 4 hours. With only the second valve open, the fountain drains in 5.25 hours. How many hours would it take for the fountains to drain with both valves open, round at the nearest tenth? Now these are called work problems, and basically it's just like you helping a friend out. You can each do the job independently, but when you help each other out, you're going to do it faster. So this one can do it in 4 hours, this one can do it in 5.25. When they help each other out, they're going to be faster than either one of those. Now how these problems are set up, every time, it is 1 over the time of person 1 plus 1 over the time of person 2 equaling one job. So that person can do one job in a time plus that one job in a time equals one job. Basically it's his rate plus his rate equals the job. So setting this in the problem, it's simply 1 over 4 plus 1 over 5.25 equals 1. And then we need to clean this up, and I could multiply by 4 and 5.25, and that would give me 5.25 plus 4 equals 4 times 5.25 is 21. And then actually these are supposed to be times here, sorry. Okay. And then now we have, that is 9.25 x equals 21, and divide by 9.25, and together you'll take 2.27 into the nearest tenth. We'll call that 2.3 hours. So anytime you get your work, just do it like x over the time plus x over the time equals 1. Multiply, clean up these fractions, and then solve. Okay, the other type of skill we want to look at today, this is a really important one. This really will help us out with, especially when you get to problem stats, is taking any equation and solving for any variable. So here they're giving me this equation. So there's my general equation, and they want me to solve for d0, so that means I want to get this thing by itself. And when I'm solving this, let's take it just this one equation here at a time. So let's just look at this one piece. If I want to solve for d0, and I have 1 over d1 equals 1 over d0, and I want to solve, I could multiply by d1 d0, That will give me D0 equals D1. And so I'm solved. Let's try another one. Wants us to solve for x1. So the first step I would need to do here is, I'm really dividing by this, so let's multiply by that common denominator. So that would give me x2 minus x1 times m equals y2 minus y1. I want to get x1 by itself, so I need to separate the m first. So I'm going to divide by m. That gives me x2 minus x1 equals y2 minus y1 over m. And then now I want to move the x2 over, so it's going to be negative x1 equals y2 minus y1 over m minus x2. And then I just need to get rid of that sign. So let's change it. Let's change it and change it. Alright, and then the last one here, we're going to solve for capital S. So we have capital S minus 2WH over 2W plus 2H equals L. We want to get this capital S by itself. We need to first multiply by this bottom to get the fraction that broke apart and separated. So that would give me S minus 2WH equals L times 2W plus 2H. And then now I want to just move this over, so it's going to be S equals L 2W plus 2H plus 2WH. And so we've solved for S. Alright, that wraps up today. Here's your assignment. Remember, tweet me if you need any extra help.